Hey guys, Dissection of Violence here. We got another one for you. UFC Kansas City. Let's get right into it. Um, Pretty good card. Uh, I would say pretty decent for a comeback card. You know, they took a week off. Ugh, let's get right into it. We got. You have to bear with me. Slow computer. We have Jocelyn Edwards taking out Chelsea Chandler. Honestly, this is a fight I want nothing to do with from a betting perspective. I lean Jocelyn Edwards just because she's shown more skill. Honestly, I think Jocelyn Edwards has the kicking edge. I think she's definitely more comfortable on the feet. Chandler's more of like a boxer. Um, she's decent on top when she gets on top. I just don't know if she's gonna be able to get on top of Jocelyn. I think Jocelyn is, she's trained for wrestlers before. And I know Chandler isn't a wrestler, but I don't see Chandler getting her down. And for that reason, I see this fight playing out on the feet a lot. And I think Edwards is gonna win this one by decision. Um, yeah, it's definitely a fight I want nothing to do with from a betting perspective, but I feel like this side is Edwards. We'll see though. Honestly, it's one of those fights that I don't want to say live bet, but it's like I feel like Edwards is gonna either look like a negative 600 favorite or this fight is gonna play out pretty close. So I'm gonna go Edwards, and yeah, I think Edwards wins this. Would I parlay her? Probably not. I don't really like parlaying low level women's MMA. But yeah, I think Jocelyn Edwards wins the fight. Yeah, we got Timmy Cuamba taking on Roberto Romero, I believe. Let's check. We got Roberto Romero. Honestly, he looked okay in his last showing against David Onama, but David Onama just like was way too lackadaisical. He didn't really care defensively, and I think that's not a good thing going into this fight. Um, I think Kawamba is a sniper. He's not gonna just go into the fray and start chucking. Um, I think Kawamba is gonna play his game. I think he's going to not allow Roberto Romero to make it a scrap. I think Cuamba is going to be a technician out there. Um, he can grapple if need be. He's got decent wrestling, grappling. Like if you look at his record, like the guys he's beating and losing to are not that bad. Like Balaji Oki split, Lucas Almeida, not terrible losses. But I don't know. I think the guy's got definitely some skill on the feet. Could be very dangerous. I could see him even finding a KO shot here. I'm gonna go with Timmy Kwamba here. I think Roberto Romero. Um, I don't think he's that good. I just think David Onama made it a scrap, and which made it a winnable fight for Kwamba. Uh, Sorry, a winnable fight for Onama. Which we'll get into later. I think Roberto Romero is going to try to play that game here, and he's going to either pay for it with a big KO loss, or he's just going to get out technique for a decision. I think Kwamba's definitely the better fighter over the 3 rounds. I think he has more tools to win this fight, and I think Roberto Romero is going to be struggling to get in on the inside of Kwamba. So definitely going to go with Timmy Kwamba here. Yeah, sorry guys, my computer's really slow. Moving on, we have Jacqueline Amorim versus Pollyanna Viana. The odds here are completely not true. Like they're very, very wrong. Um, yeah, I gotta go with Jacqueline Amorim. I think Amorim's the better fighter of the two. Um, as far as grappling goes, especially. Viana is probably the better striker, but Amorim has KO power. I just don't think Viana's. Has she ever been TKO'd? I don't think she has. Let me double check here. Mm, Man, this computer shit is going way too slow for my likings, and I'm not digging it. Um, yeah, so Pollyanna, she's been TKO'd from Julia Robertson, so I think she can be TKO'd, but I don't think she's been KO'd before. She's been submitted, so honestly, I could see if Veronica Hardy, Tabitha Rich, or Tabitha didn't submit her, but if Veronica Hardy and Yasmin Lucindo can get a finish on you, I think Jacqueline Abraham should be able to. The odds are absolutely gross. I would never play these odds. I think Amorim is likely going to win, but negative 1200 on our money line, and the all the props are pretty gross. So I'm just gonna stay off this fight altogether. Some people are taking the value spot in Pollyanna Viana. Honestly, I get it, but I'm not gonna bother taking that because I just don't see her winning this fight. So I'm gonna go Jacqueline Amorim by let's go. I'm gonna go Jacqueline Amorim by TKO or submission. But yeah, this could play out like a pretty close fight. So there could be value here on the dog, but I'm just gonna stay away. Moving on, we have Malcolm Wellmaker versus Cameron Saaiman. Cameron Saaiman has, done decently in his UFC tenure. He's known for his fouls. I think the guy has good striking, good fundamental striking. He's aggressive. Um, on the ground too. He's either hunting submissions or the TKO. So if this fight gets extended, I could see this. I could see Simon finding maybe a late round two, round three submission, or round two, round three TKO. But I think this is going to be played out as a coin flip fight. So I'm going to lean Simon, but I'm not sold. Wellmaker could easily find the KO and win this one. I'm not sold on this fight. I guess from a betting perspective, I think Malcolm Wellmaker has I think Wellmaker has a lot of skill on the feet, good pull counters. Um, yeah, I think the guy has a lot of athleticism as well. He's pretty green. He hasn't really faced anybody or beat anybody. Um, Let me just check here. Ooh, yeah, like if you look at his record, it's like we haven't really beat anyone. That Bramhall guy was pretty bad. Um, yeah, there's not much I can do about this. He hasn't really beat anyone. So it's like, how am I supposed to think he's going to jump into the UFC and just dominate someone at the level of Cameron Saaiman? I don't know. Pretty close fight though, if you ask me. Would I bet on it? Probably not. I'm gonna look for a live spot on Cameron if I see Wallmaker getting tired. Um, yeah, not much to say about this one. I'm not gonna spend too much time speaking about this fight. Um, yeah, it's a close fight. Moving on, we have Jamal Blackshear versus Alatengheili. I think Alatang has a good chance of winning this fight. He's got to be able to stuff some takedowns, which I feel like he can do. It's going to be a little tricky because Jamal Blackshear is a pretty good grappler. But I feel like on the feet, technically Blackshear is definitely better. But I think Alatang is he hits harder and his hardware is better. I think he I think he wins. I think he can win this fight. I think the odds are a little wide, if you ask me. I don't know. I gotta go with Blackshear, but I'm not confident. Like if you look at his record, like Clayton Rodriguez beat him. Kevin Kroom beat him. He's beat some decent guys. His only losses are to Chris Gutierrez and Casey Kenny. Not bad losses. I'm gonna go Blackshear here. I think he has the tools to win this fight. Um, I think Alateng is gonna need to pressure him. Find big openings. I don't think Blackshear is gonna be. I don't think he's going to have as much problem with someone not in his face. We saw Cody Gibson find success in the feet. That's another thing that really worries me with this fight is Cody Simpson, Cody Gibson is not that, in my opinion, that great, and he was piecing up Blackshear, but I don't know. Blackshear was also getting pressed up against the cage, and your chin gets higher the more your back's against the cage. So I don't know. I'm gonna go Blackshear, but honestly, if Alatengheili got finished by TKO, I would not be surprised. This is a fight that I have no interest in betting on, but it's probably the theme of the card. But yeah, let's move on. We have Chris Gutierrez versus John Castaneda. I spoke about this fight previously already, so I'm not going to speak about it much longer. Gutierrez, he's a really good kicker. John Castaneda, he's a decent hybrid, mixes in the takedowns as well. Um, I think he's gonna get his calf chewed apart from the outside oh my goodness. See, this is what I had to deal with. Page unresponsive. Like, Jesus, Murphy. And basically, I just think Gutierrez is going to be too much on the outside, kicking him, moving, stick and move. I think Castaneda is going to be chasing him. I'm going to go Gutierrez here. I think Castaneda is pretty good against a certain level of competition. I don't know. I just think Gutierrez is going to be cleaner on the feet and win minutes. I don't think Castaneda is dynamic enough on the feet to win moments. So I'm gonna go with Chris Gutierrez here by decision or late TKO. Moving on, we have Evan Elder versus Gage Young. Gage Young is a very green blue chip prospect. He has some KO power for sure. Um, but we haven't really seen him do well against high level competition. He went to a pretty close fight with Gage or with Quillen Salkhild. But I think Evan Elder is around the level of Quillen Salkhild. Um, we haven't really seen Young in the UFC like at this level. We're basing our argument for him off of his performance versus Salkhild, who in my opinion is a little bit of a different matchup. Salkhild's a longer striker who has some grappling, whereas Evan Elder's another hybrid, but I feel like Evan Elder's grappling is a bit better. He also has the UFC wins. I know again they're not against great guys. Gennaro Valdez tagged him, I'm pretty sure. Um, I don't know. I think Sadie Cobb wouldn't looking. He was about to win that fight versus Sadie Cobb. That would have been a good win for him. I don't know. I think the guys training with UFC guys looking pretty good in the UFC. I gotta go with Evan Elder here, but Gage Young, he definitely could, make this a close fight, win a decision off of moments. But I'm gonna go with Evan Elder here. He could get dropped, but yeah, I think Evan Elder's gonna win the fight. Yeah, I'm gonna try to speed this one up. I don't want to speak too much longer about this card. Trying to get in and give quick thoughts about it. Moving on, we have Jimmy the Brick Flick versus Matt Schnell. Two guys you just don't want to bet on. Jimmy Flick kind of quits in fights when he gets too much damage. Same thing with Schnell, except Schnell is more so his chin or speed tapping. I think Schnell wins just because Flick's wrestling isn't good. But all he really needs to do is pull guard, and now Schnell's in his guard. I don't know. I'm gonna go Schnell here, but this is a very volatile fight against guys that I will say fight for your money, but they're not really like that great. So I'm gonna go Matt Schnell here, but you're kind of fading shit with shit here. Jimmy Fleck by sub is probably the culture bet of the fight. But yeah, I'm just completely passing on this. Matt Schnell, in my opinion, is he's got skill to win. He has a decent process, but the guy's freaking horrible as far as his decision making. He panics, and his chin is not reliable. So I'm going with Matt Schnell, but I'm not confident at all. Moving on, we have Andre Muniz versus Ikram Aliskerov. Aliskerov should win this fight. He's had like pretty much 6 months to train for this fight. I think Muniz is, got good grappling, good jiu-jitsu, but I just feel like Aliskerov is, he's trained with good guys, good sambo level guys. Fought Hamza. Like I'm pretty sure he's used to grapplers. Ikram did kind of get fraud check versus Rob, but I don't think Muniz is gonna find the KO. So I had to go with Ikram Aliskerov getting the fight done rounds 1 or 2 by TKO. I think Aliskerov is a very very dangerous man on the feet, and Muniz can be hurt on the feet. So I'm gonna go with Aliskerov here, and yeah, I'm pretty confident in this one. I wouldn't go around telling everyone to bet the chalk though. The odds are pretty crazy, but I do think Aliskerov wins. Moving on, we have. See, I'm gonna only speak about this fight for about a minute. I don't want to go too much longer, guys. We have Brandy Brown versus Nicholas Dalby. Nicholas Dalby is a cardio machine. Honestly, he could push a pace here, but the thing with Brown is he doesn't really fight to, finish you early. He fights to, find the kill shot, win a decision. He wins minutes. Like I think Dalby's gonna struggle with the range here. I think Dalby's gonna eat a lot of jabs, a lot of straight shots. Dalby could potentially get TKO'd. I doubt it. His chin is very good, but I'm gonna go Brown here by decision. I feel like that's the most likely outcome. I think he needs to make this fight really messy. I don't think Brown's gonna let that happen. He already fought Brian Battle, who tried to make the fight ugly, and I feel like he's gonna have something to prove in this fight. So I'm gonna go Randy Brown here by decision. Yeah. Moving on, we have Abus Magomedov taking on Michel Pereira. Michel Pereira, I lean him to win just because I think Abus needs to grapple to win this fight. On the feet, I feel like Pereira has him covered. Um, and the size difference, they're about the same size. I just think Pereira's hardware is better. Um, I trust him on the feet more. Could Magomedov find grappling wrestling success? 100% he could. He's got some decent wrestling, training with some good guys at American Top Team, but I'm gonna go with Michel Pereira here. He's just too dangerous, especially early, and Abus gets tired as the fight goes on, whereas Pereira needs a grindy fight to get tired, and I don't think Abus is gonna make it grindy because that he's gonna gas himself trying to make it a grimy fight. So I gotta go with Michel Pereira here. Nice slight lean. Moving on, we have David Onama taking on Giga Chikadze. I think Giga Chikadze, um, I think he's a side to be honest, just because David Onama in pure striking fights does tend to get outpointed. I think Chikadze, if he doesn't get hit with a big KO shot, I feel like he could win this fight on the scorecards. Onama, he's explosive. He has KO power. He's definitely someone you don't want to sleep on. But I just feel like Chikadze is more clean on the feet, crisp, and doesn't make as many dumb decisions. I think Chikadze, although I don't know exactly how old he is still somewhat in his prime, and I think Onama is. I think he's gonna struggle here. I think Onama is gonna. Oh, 36. Yikes. I think Onama's gonna lose this fight, but it's a close fight. Honestly, if Onama were to win this fight, I wouldn't be surprised. I'm gonna lead Chikadze with output though. Moving on, we have Ming Yang Zhang taking on Anthony Smith. Ming Yang Zhang, I feel like he wins this fight by KO. Will I play the chalk? No. I'm gonna leave the bigger weight classes alone. They seem to historically not be very good for me. But yeah, I'm gonna go Ming Yang Zhang. I'm not quite sold on his grappling yet. I'm not sold on him altogether, but I do think he is a very, very dangerous and cerebral striker. So I'm gonna go with Ming Yang Zhang here, but would not be surprised to see Anthony Smith get the win. And yeah, I'm gonna go Ming Yang by round 1, round 2 TKO. Yeah. Moving on, we have Carlos Prates versus Ian Machado Gary. Um, Close fight. Honestly, I'm gonna lean Prates, but I'm not confident. Easily could see Gary stealing this fight. Gary's grappling is, in my opinion, better. I feel like his cardio might be better too. I don't know though. We'll see. Gary's wrestling isn't amazing. Prates is showing decent get-ups and takedown defense as of late. The Fighting Nerds is good for game planning. Ian's gonna throw a lot of calf kicks, oblique stomps. I think Prates is gonna time a counter off of those. I think Prates is gonna time something big off of Ian Gary and find the KO shot. But I would not be surprised to see Gary find a late finish or a decision win. Gary is more experienced, 5 round fights. He is also um his style is built for 5 round fights. Prates is he doesn't go all or nothing in the first two, but he does swing with heat early, and I think this is a a fight where if Gary can get dropped by Jordan Newman, he should be able to get dropped by Carlos Prates, but we'll see. Definitely a close fight. I don't want to be the one to, like if I were to bet this fight, I wouldn't want to be the one to do that. Let me give you guys my top 5 most confident picks, and we'll get you guys out of here. Number 1, we have Mingyang Zhang. Number 2, we have Jacqueline Amorim. Number 3, we have Damon Blackshear. Number 4, we have Ikram Aliskerov. And number 5, we have Timmy Cuamba. Alrighty, guys. Like, subscribe. You know the drill. The top 5 are subject to change, so keep that in mind. My final top 5 will be posted on fight day. Join the Discord. Leave a like. Subscribe. You know the drill. I'll catch you next time.